Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is Why Caught Alive. So, y'all, I just tuned into Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly's review of episode 2 of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 7 or 8. I don't know what season we're on. In some places, it's saying season 7, and in other places, it's saying season 8. But regardless, it's episode 2. And Carlos King said some very interesting things during the review, and Dr. Heavenly asked him a very important question, and I felt like he didn't answer the question at all. However, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I am asking you guys to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and please remember to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, and TikTok at How I See It. So for those of you who don't know, I will never again play any audio from anyone's YouTube channel. What I will do is pull the transcript and read their words from the transcript that's available on their YouTube channel. I feel like in this way, I will avoid any copyright strikes. Okay? So, during tonight's review, Carlos King made it seem as if Marceau and Maurice were holding Martel accountable for threatening to release Revenge P of Melody. He also made it seem like they were holding him accountable for going to the blogger, as we know is Tasha K, going to the blogger to expose Melody, when in reality, they weren't holding him accountable. They were just saying, you have to find a better way to come at Melody. That is what I got from what they were saying in that scene. However, this is what Carlos King had to say about the scene. And I can't do his voice, but these are his words at 33 minutes and 28 seconds into the video. He says to Dr. Heavenly, "It's not every day you see Black men having that conversation without it appearing, because let's have a real conversation. A lot of men pacify each other. They don't hold each other accountable. They're like, well, I feel you, bro." I love the fact that Maurice and Marceau were like, no, this was wrong. You need another outlet. That's not okay. Why are you doing this? And I'm like, Carlos, you know good and well that that's not how that scene went down. They went into that house trying to come for Melody's fan base, trying to make what Martel did about Melody's fan base, instead of the lawyer in the group telling Martel that what he did in terms of threatening to release that intimate image of his ex-wife is in fact illegal, and Melody had every right to go and report him, because at this point in their co-parenting relationship, Melody cannot trust him. And he needs to accept that what he did was wrong, instead of running off to bloggers trying to expose her. Neither of them said that video that you drop of Melody pouring lighter fuel on what was actually her furniture was a reaction to the things that you were doing to her, Martel. We didn't see any of them saying that. We didn't see any of them saying, Martel, we remember that you took money from Melody's account. And she was in that video telling you to give her her money back. You didn't show in the video what you did and what you said to her that led to that reaction. So of course nobody's going to be on your side, because the people who have full context, they are on Melody's side and will forever be on Melody's side, because you're wrong, bro. That's not what Maurice and Marsaw did in that scene. In my opinion, they felt like Martel is right for going at Melody. They just wanted him to be a little bit more smarter in doing it. So for Carlos to act like it was a scene of two black men holding their black male counterpart accountable for his bad behavior, that was just pure BS on Carlos King's part. And because Dr. Heavenly is missing certain nuances from the show, she's missing certain context that has happened offline, Heavenly just ran with that narrative that, oh, it was two black men holding Martel accountable for his bad behavior. And that's actually not what happened in that scene. And I don't feel like Heavenly watched the show, because if she watched the show, then she would have been able to say to Carlos, nah, that's not what they were doing in that scene. Another thing that stood out to me in their review was Dr. Heavenly saying that Martel is good for the show from, I'm guessing, from an entertainment standpoint. However, she acknowledged that the people are going to eat her up because, in her words, we're going to say that Martel is abusive. And that's the truth, right? That's what we're saying. So she asks Carlos a very important question. And the question was, why would you bring him back to a show like this? And she asks Carlos to answer, why are we bringing Martel back after everything that he has done? All the stuff with Melody, with him threatening to release her intimate images and her pressing charges, she wanted Carlos to answer the question of why did they bring Martel back for season 7, season 8. And to me, Carlos went around and around and around and around in circles and didn't necessarily answer the question. Let me read for you how Carlos responded to that very direct question. So after Dr. Heavenly asked him, why is Martel back on the show? Carlos went on to explain to her why Melody made the decision to file those charges against Martel. And Carlos says the decision she had to make was the best decision to protect herself. And I think that's why at the end of the day, you don't see them around each other, because the biggest thing for us, and I'm thinking he means Kingdom Reign Entertainment and the production team, is making sure that she feels safe. So I agree with that 100%. I mean, if it was a cease and desist to stop him from doing what he threatened to do, I think Melody knows him better than any of us, that he probably would have made good on that threat. So Carlos, in that instant, is admitting to understanding the severity of the situation. However, Martel is still on the show. And so he didn't answer the question. What he said is, in my opinion, Martel is on the show because we're not going to have him and Melody filming together for Melody's safety and Melody's peace of mind. But what about the women who make up majority of the fan base, having to watch this man, having to be triggered by this man because they have experienced the same things in their previous relationship that Martel is putting Melody through in terms of the harassment and the threats of releasing intimate images. And I also feel like in that moment, Carlos should have made it clear that for this season, we don't have Melody and Martel filming together. Because did we not see Martel popping up to his daughter's birthday party uninvited, behaving in a very unhinged and aggressive manner, yelling in Mama Van's face? Did we not see Melody being forced to be in Houston with Martel? Because Melody said she did not know that Martel was going to be on that trip. And this is after Carson Blue had exposed this whole revenge plot, and Melody had gone live on her IG confirming that she knew of this revenge P plot. But they had Melody in the same room with that man who was harassing her and threatening her with the release of her intimate images. So is he saying that the only reason they care now about her safety is because she went ahead and protected herself and filed that police report? Because obviously they didn't care about her safety and her peace of mind last season when they had her in scenes with him. I'm just saying, y'all. Carlos didn't answer the question. And for me, the question wasn't answered because it is still not clear as to why, after everything Martel has done, showing up to a set that Melody is on, vandalizing property, behaving aggressively and unhinged, coming at her aggressively on that Vegas strip, coming at Mama Van aggressively at the girls' skating rink party, attacking Melody's makeup artist, Jay Taylor, at one of the reunions, and now threatening to release intimate images of Melody. Why, after all of this has happened, why is Martel still employed as a cast member on Love and Marriage Huntsville? Carlos, you did not answer the question. And that's how I see it, y'all. Leave me a comment so I know how you see things too. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, now called X, and TikTok at How I See It. And until next time, as I always say, walk good. Bye.